How are you?
Fine.
What are you doing here? Stop!
By the way, a lot of people around me do not know that I have it because for some good years, I just felt like it's not something you tell people that I have because no one is asking and no one is saying it. Since I dress women up, you'll be surprised by the number of women that have hidden vitiligo.
Yeah. Hi everyone, it's good to be back and to have you back. We are back and continue our series on Unpacking Vitiligo as a way to celebrate World Vitiligo Day 2024. And with me, my name is Serena Tugume and I lead the team at Serene Beauty. With me on set today is the famous, the amazing, the gifted, talented, what else? Fatuma Asha. Please say hello to us.
Hi, Serene.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's so good to be here with you today.
Me too.
So the team at Satisfaction UG called me and said, Serena, we're doing this campaign on unpacking vitiligo to help people understand vitiligo better as a way of supporting people with vitiligo and just really helping you be more informed so that you can be kinder, can be more understanding, more accepting of this thing that happens to people that they don't plan for, they can't avoid, and it just happens to everybody. And so the team says, oh, Serena, you know, Fatumah Asha wants to come and talk about vitiligo with you. And I'm like, okay, does she have vitiligo? So why are you here? What's your relationship with vitiligo?
I do have vitiligo, but mine is hidden. And it didn't spread so much like yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
by the way, a lot of people around me do not know that I have it because for some good years, I just felt like it's not something you tell people that I have because no one is asking and no one is saying it. Why would you tell people that I have it?
Yeah. And so when you first saw me, what did you think?
I thought you're so beautiful. Your hands looked like you're wearing gloves. It's something that just blew me away, and you are so confident. Yeah, you are so confident. That is my first perception of you.
Yeah. People tell me that you're confident, and I wonder, why is that a surprise?
It shouldn't be a surprise, but you just carry yourself with so much grace and like, yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Well, I'm not asking you because I don't understand why. I think I understand why, because vitiligo is one of those conditions that can really put someone down.
Yeah.
Like most skin conditions, it's something you really try to control and you can't control it. It just happens to you.
It just happens to you.
At whatever age it does come, and it comes with certain emotional distress, partly because you're not born like that. And so even when people say, oh, you're fearfully and wonderfully made, you're like, yeah, I am fearfully and wonderfully made, but I'm not made like this.
Yeah.
I'm not made like this. And so it kind of takes a while for you to go through the process of dealing with it and accepting it and just living a fruitful life despite having it, mostly because of what people say to you, and that makes it a bit more difficult to deal with. But yes, I think my confidence has built over the years of having to deal with vitiligo, and I'm grateful for that. And this is really why we're doing this, because there are other people out there that are really struggling. And for me, I felt a sense of responsibility to do what I can, to do my piece, to support them. And so I'm glad that you're here.
When did you get yours?
I got mine at 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. So it's been really...
I think I got mine at around 6, 7. But it didn't spread a lot.
Yeah.
First of all, it's not something that I would say took away my confidence. As a child, it's so hard to find a child that is confident. But since it was hidden, it didn't
affect you
that much.
Yeah. When I first got vitiligo at 10 years, it didn't take away my confidence, imagine. It didn't bother me until, I think the first thing that bothered me was having to do too much treatment. So as a child, you kind of you don't like medicine already.
They put you on medication.
Yeah, because
Wow.
the first medication I took were actually tablets. There were, I think, some vitamins. Interestingly, I was taking like vitamin C tabs, all of that. There's a time when I used to take tablets every day. This time it wasn't vitamins and they were bitter. And I would swallow them every day for 28 days. I think I was about 12 by then.
Wow.
For 28 days.
Wow.
Then you see the doctor for review. And nothing has changed.
Yeah.
So it was a bit frustrating. So that was the beginning of when I was starting to feel a bit tired of it. And then when I had to change schools to S1. So when you go into a new community, there's that shock that the community kind of put you through.
Yeah.
And they're like,
every
time,
yeah, they
Yeah. I remember my first day in school in Makerere College in S1. I joined the school maybe like a week later than the other S1s, and they were already, they kind of had already bonded, met each other.
Made friends.
I remember walking past the S1 class and kids just came to the window looking at me. So they're children. And I think that those days there were not too many people with vitiligo. So I looked quite strange to them. And that was very uncomfortable.
Sorry,
I was
actually
had
12.
To go
through that.
Yeah. I was actually 12, so it kind of put me down and I struggled. But you manage. You learn how to cope. I think I just sort of decided to brush it off.
Yeah.
Made a few friends, met some people I knew before, and kind of just managed.
Blended in.
Yeah. So that's actually, I think, when the struggle started for me, having to get used, and then also hearing people say all kinds of things to you, random people in town that just say annoying things. Yeah, so, and people do that. Even to people who don't have vitiligo, people don't have anything, but because you have something, it kind of makes it difficult to live with. Yeah, so I think that you are blessed that yours is hidden. You cover
I was also a little bit uncomfortable, but with family members that knew that I had it. When you're a child, you're going to undress and play in the rain, do this, jump around, and they had all these solutions. You do this, telling my mother, you do this for her, do this for her, do this for her. So it kind of also made my mother very, very uncomfortable moving with me anywhere. She could even tell me, don't undress, just don't undress. And as kids, you need to just go out and play. Everyone needs to just be happy.
Yeah. When you mention your mother, I think that the hardest part for me as well as a child was my mom. Just watching her struggle with it. At first I was like, why is she so bothered? Because I didn't care.
Because of what people are telling her.
And she's trying this medication and that. And I'm like, relax, it's okay. I really saw like it distressed her. And now that I'm a mother, I understand. Like, if my child had vitiligo, it would really distress me. I feel like I would really do whatever I can, even if I didn't have it before. Yeah, because also now I know what a child would go through because of what I went through. So I could understand, and I understand what your mom, was going through. But so this, I think, also is an important point because vitiligo shows up differently for different people.
It does show up differently, and it's triggered in so many ways. That simplest thing can trigger it.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, what triggered yours?
Well, you can't really know. Doctors say that vitiligo is one condition that they can't fully explain. But one thing they say is sometimes an extremely stressful event in your life can trigger vitiligo to start. And then, of course, stress causes it to spread. I think that for me, I suspect, we have like suspicions, but we don't know for sure. But around that time I got vitiligo, I had a small incident at school where my eye was hit by something and it got swollen as a result. And then as it started to heal, like the swelling to come down over the next days, I started seeing like pink coming out of the eye. So my eyesight have like a pink thing coming out. And that was the eye where the vitiligo started. Yeah, so that shock, that immediate shock, I think, can actually get it to start. So that's where my vitiligo started, from that eye. Then it started coming out of the other eye. Because I remember feeling like I have a wound. I thought I had a wound on the eye as a result of that. But then, so that was one. But also, we had traveled out of the country the previous year, and we had gone to Egypt, and it was very hot. It was extremely hot.
It shocked you.
So, like, I had never experienced such heat in my entire life. Like, you know, the desert and all. And I remember my mom thinking maybe that could have disorganized, because we had these conversations with the doctor of stress, of, you know, interesting events, but we didn't really pay it attention. And then also I had been part of a wedding like a few weeks before my vitiligo started. I was a bridesmaid at a wedding, and actually what happened was, right after that wedding, it was my uncle's wedding, my mom left the country and I was here, and then the vitiligo started a few weeks after that. And when my aunt saw me, my aunties that were looking after us, they said, oh, it looks like that whatever they used on you at the wedding must have reacted with your skin.
Like powder or
the
something.
Makeup or
the
whatever.
makeup.
Because now they started to see, it came from my eyes first. My eyes started to turn, like have like pink spots. And then it came out of my lips. So that's what they thought. And my mom wasn't in the country for a while, so they didn't really do anything about it. When my mom came back into the country and she looked at me, the first thing she did was to take me to the doctor. And immediately the doctor sat us down. It's long ago. He had this big book. There was no internet those days.
Yeah, they had to explain through a book.
And he explained to us, Dr. Nsibambi, he's late now. It was called Osla Clinic. So I used to see him every 2 weeks, and he would treat it. And imagine, in the beginning, my skin kind of repigmented. It reduced, but then it started to come in other places. So vitiligo is like that. But I think with this campaign that we have been doing, one thing we have learned is that there's stable vitiligo and there's unstable vitiligo.
There is so much I have learned today with just listening to you.
Oh,
so much I have learned.
To share. So do you feel like yours is stable vitiligo? Like it's been the same for a
It has been
years?
the same, but mine was trick. I had something, I don't know how they call it in English, but that thing that it pains you like a whole week, and then after they cut it and you do like an operation.
Like a hernia?
No, it's not a hernia.
Oil.
Tunuka. I had it. It was so painful and gave me horrible fever. But you know, when those days, every fever could be treated by quinine.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like that is what triggered it.
No, I think it's quinine.
It was, I almost was overdosed because I was in terrible pain.
That is it. It was quinine. Because in this season of Unpacking Vitiligo,
that is a medication that could make you feel like you can't hear. Yeah. Is that so?
Quinine, yeah. And itch and all of that. I met like the executive director of Vitiligo Association of Uganda. Her and her sister got terrible malaria, and they were given quinine at the same time, and they both got vitiligo.
No, I feel so bad that I didn't do much research about it.
No, it's okay.
But I feel like that is what triggered it. After that is the last time I actually took it. I was not treated with that medication ever again.
So I think what Eva said was that if you're allergic to sulfur and they give you quinine,
and I'm allergic to sulfur. Yeah, I didn't know I was allergic to sulfur until my kids, one of my daughters, we put that pomade, sulfur pomade, something, and she reacted. That is when I knew that I'm allergic to sulfur, because I didn't even touch it. I don't like touching oils and all that. Yeah. It is someone else that applied it to her. Yeah. Even my son is allergic to sulfur. Yeah. So this all now makes sense to me.
I think that is it. That's what triggered yours. Dr. Malik also said that anti-malarials can trigger vitiligo. Yeah. And I think people need to know this so that they find out if they are allergic to sulfur and just avoid medication that has sulfur, because this is one of the things that we've learned.
Consider.
Yeah. Interesting. So how did yours spread? After after they gave you quinine, is it in one spot? Is it in different spots?
Yeah, I have 2 spots in a private place.
Yeah.
I have 2 spots.
Yeah.
They came, one is slightly bigger than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't spread to
Yeah.
get very, very big, but it used to make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't care about it. The only
Yeah.
problem with it is, I was talking to someone earlier, like I feel like it somehow affected my dating life, which is a good thing. You don't have to get to have so many partners.
Yeah.
Because you are afraid of how am I going to start over and explain to someone, how did you get this condition? Is it the questions? You can't start over. You're like, let me just stay with one person that knows I have this and I can't do anything about it, and that is it.
Yeah. Wow. Have you ever feared that maybe it could spread in other parts of your body?
For some reason, when I was watching America's Next Top Model and I saw that girl Winnie, I felt like I wanted it to spread a little bit.
That's so funny.
Because I found her so beautiful, and like the way I told you, you carry yourself so gracious. You're like, I know myself, I'm special. I just feel like the people that embrace it know that they are special.
Yeah.
That moment when I saw her, I felt like I wanted it to spread a little bit.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
You know, one of my friends who has vitiligo, she's so beautiful and she doesn't cover her vitiligo, like she has it on her face. And it's so funny, like every time I do her makeup and post her like on my status, people tell me, she makes me feel like having vitiligo.
It's so beautiful, like, yeah, I'm special.
Yeah, that's true. But I think it goes for everything beauty, everything. When you learn to accept who you are, you actually grow in beauty. Yeah, because you're more confident, carry yourself, nothing stops you.
It's like being dark-skinned now. It is so dope.
I know.
Feel like you want to apply black foundation so that you're dark skin, like the confident.
There are people that I do makeup I do and they're like, please, I want it dark. Make it darker. I'm like, but this is too dark for you. He said, yes, I want to look darker than I actually am. And yet there's a time in our lives where people did not want to be dark.
Not at all. And one shade of foundation was made. We all had to be light-skinned when we were flower girls.
I know.
One shade like this for everyone.
Or you just don't do at all. Yeah. But that's it. I think accepting yourself and just knowing that you're so much greater than just what you look like. I honestly feel like if you take so much out of your life if your focus is just on how you look, because there's so much more to you.
There is.
Right? Absolutely. Imagine if you were just obsessed with how you look.
I have just learned today why it didn't spread. Someone was explaining to me, like, if you try so much to say, I want to treat it, I want it to be gone, or I don't like it, when you fight it, that is when it spreads more.
This is true.
I think I didn't fight mine.
This is true.
That is why it didn't spread.
So one of the things we have learned in the past few weeks of this campaign is that when you have stable vitiligo, if it's just in one spot or like a few spots, and you start going on a search for treatment upon treatment, that vitiligo goes out of control and
it spreads. It's like, I'm here.
Yes. Even Dr. Malik said, people that have stable vitiligo, especially if it's in places where you don't see it, he advises them not to do treatment. Because from his experience, when he starts to treat those spots start showing up everywhere. You know why? Because you start over-focusing on it.
Funny thing, my mother never took me to a doctor.
That's interesting.
To treat it. But she had suggestions from her sisters, her cousins actually, and sisters, telling her, do this, do that, do that.
Just accepting and not over-focusing on the treatment. One of my friends had vitiligo from 2014, and she had it in like small places where you don't see it much. She had like a few that you can see, but the kind that you can ignore. But one of her relatives was so stressed out about it. Actually, her mom was so stressed out about it. And she kept insisting on trying this treatment and that
giving her medication.
Then they gave her this herbal treatment. And the guy told her that it's going to first come out.
And then it goes.
And then it goes. Like when you see it increasing, you just know that now it's coming out. Then it goes.
What a lie.
My gosh. The thing spread like a fire in the last 2 years. And just covered. Yeah. Yeah, so there are so many people I've met like that who had vitiligo for a long time, but then suddenly it's showing. And so you're like, when did your vitiligo start? And they're like, oh, it's been like 20 years, but it's just suddenly shown.
So mine can increase?
I don't want to say that because vitiligo is different for everyone, which is also why people should not over. Okay, I know that they come from a good place when they are suggesting solutions.
Use this, use that, do this, do that.
Come from a good place. Like if you find something that has worked and you find someone with that problem, you kind of feel like obligated to help them. But we have to know that vitiligo is different for everyone. Like when I did phototherapy at Malik's in 2015, like all the vitiligo on my face went. Apart from, because I used to have quite a bit of vitiligo on my face, I used to cover it with makeup. And then in 2015, I did that treatment.
I didn't even know that there is treatment for it now.
Yeah, well, there's very good treatment, but it doesn't quite cure all of it. It just repigments in some places, but some places are harder to repigment, like the hands, the lips. So everything on my face went apart from the lips. The year I was getting married, actually. And I was like, wow, I hadn't seen such progress in my vitiligo for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like, so everyone who would ask me, I'll tell them, go do phototherapy at Malik's, it will go. Mine went. And my friends went and did and did and did.
And it didn't work for them.
And then Malik
I think it's
introduced,
different for everyone.
Exactly. Then he introduced a certain treatment called eczema laser. It's like a laser treatment. And people were repigmenting with it. It failed to work for me. In fact, if anything, it just gave me like.
But it was working for other people.
Yes, for me, it like gave me a sunburn. I was like, I can't do this. I told Malik, I'm not doing this. And you know, when you're sunburned with vitiligo, usually it repigments in those spots. But I just said no. So he said, stick to phototherapy. It's what works for you. But even the places that repigment can lose pigment again, especially if it's not completely covered. Like if the patch is this big and it starts, it starts with like tiny little black dots.
Hands are so beautiful.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
They are.
Thank you. Yeah, it starts with like tiny little black dots, and then those dots widen and cover. I feel like if it hasn't completely covered and you stop treatment, the vitiligo starts to come back. But because I remember my wedding,
the treatment is very, very expensive.
Well, expensive is relative. I remember in 2015, when I was doing treatment, I used to spend about 300K a month, but my insurance was paying for it, so I really didn't feel the pain. But yeah, 300K. For some people, 300K is very little money to spend a month. For some people, it's too much, right? So I was doing that, but everything went on my face. My elbows started to repigment. They had like black dots like this.
We've left here, let's come here.
No, they were repigmenting, they were
healing.
Yeah, and they had like black dots and they were widening and actually at my wedding I had more on my hands. But then when I got pregnant, pregnancy kind of can cause vitiligo to increase. When I got pregnant, the elbows, like all the dark started to go, all the black that had come, because they had not fully repigmented. Pregnancy can cause vitiligo to increase.
And you can do the treatment when you're pregnant?
Yes, but my first pregnancy, I was too scared. The first pregnancy, you want to get everything at 100% right.
Perfect.
So I stopped. The minute I found out I was pregnant, I told Malik, I'm not coming. Malik said, Serena, continue your treatment. It's safe. I read off the internet. And everything said it's safe. But I was like, no, I cannot risk my baby. But after my firstborn, when the places that had repigmented got vitiligo again, I started treatment. And then I got pregnant, But I was like, it's okay. I continued my treatment. So actually, by the time I gave birth to my second born, quite a bit of my vitiligo was gone, apart from the hands. The hands are very hard to...
I think because the skin itself is very thin.
I think it's more like hair follicles. They say even when they repigment these areas, like the palms, it's very hard for them to repigment because they don't have hair follicles. Like, yeah. And then the face, what Dr. Malik taught was that the face repigments faster because of sun exposure. So they advise you wear sunscreen, but they advise that you be in the sun a bit, especially the morning sun, because then that will trigger the melanocytes too.
I have learned a lot today. I'm in class.
You're in class?
I'm in class.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think for you, based on what I have learned so far, I think it's best that you leave your vitiligo alone. Yeah.
And the fact that I'm not even exposing it to the sun.
Yeah.
How can it heal?
Exactly, which is okay. One of my friends also had like on her lips only until she got pregnant with her firstborn. Then it started showing up in every... And because I think pregnancy takes a lot out of your body as a woman. Like you're in giving mode.
You're eating for 2
months. You're eating for 2. You're sharing nutrients, and it's taking a lot out of you. So that's when for her it spread. Because the body, I think, registers it as stress. Stress to the... It's not that you're stressed, but it's like it's taking out. Yeah. Yeah. So have you ever so you talked about your husband and protecting your information about your vitiligo. What does he think about it?
He actually likes it. He doesn't mind it at all. He likes it.
Yeah.
He likes it. He didn't comment about it when he first saw it.
Yeah.
He didn't. But you know that can make you uncomfortable at the same time. You want to know, like, what do you think about it? What do you think about it? Until he told me he's very, very okay with it. It's not... He doesn't see me any different.
Yeah. I wonder why we are so hard on ourselves.
But I've had issues before with a previous
relationship.
Yeah, partners.
Yeah. But I think we are really hard on ourselves, to be honest, because when I think about it, you don't do anything to get vitiligo. Why would you feel bad about having it?
But I think it's also people around you that keep asking you, and they see you in a different way.
Yeah.
That thing of balongo ba mocha.
Yeah.
Balongo ba mocha. Like, what did you do to the twins?
Nothing. And not it's a myth. It's a very silly myth. And that, I think, has been my greatest discovery in this season of vitiligo. I didn't realize how much outside people can affect how you feel.
Yeah.
That's really the issue. In fact, when we were sharing with the other girls, we realized that for all of us, it was when outside people started to make comments.
You're okay with it until someone makes a comment.
Yeah. Like, and that's, I think, also for everything. Because when you say that your husband doesn't mind it, I think about my son. My last born has a birthmark. When I gave birth, he had like a red patch here on his tummy. It was red. It felt like, you know, when you've been bruised and you're very light skinned and you get like a red. It was like half of his tummy. It was like divided like this half and then this side. It looked like a big map. And I found it beautiful. I was like, oh my God, this is so cute.
What you find beautiful, other people don't.
I was like, this is so
Until
cute.
someone sees him and is like, what happened to you?
I know.
Are you
and
okay?
make you feel like something happened to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is
what did
so
you do?
Cute. It looked like a decoration on his tummy. And it divided like right in the middle and then here. So...
He still has it?
Yeah, but it was more prominent at
when
birth.
He was younger.
Right at birth. He's only 3 years old. It was more prominent at birth. And like 2-3 months later, it started to kind of fade. So it's there, but it's not obvious. But also, you know, when you've just been born, you're much lighter. And then you start to gain color. So it kind of, it's not as, the contrast is not big now. It's kind of there, but it's, you don't even, like, unless you're really focusing. But I remember when the doctor came in to examine the baby, the ped, she looked at it and said, this thing here shouldn't bother you. It's not
When you say that, that is what, but that is what is going to make me bothered.
She said it shouldn't bother you. It's not. It's nothing serious. It's not medical. It's just a birthmark, and he's not been hurt. I told her, you know what, relax.
It is okay.
It is a birthmark. I don't mind it. Yeah. Yeah, but I think also we need to just embrace our uniqueness.
It's so funny that most of the times right now, like we talked about dark-skinned people being the it thing now. I just feel like personally, this is how I feel. A lot of people have started embracing people with vitiligo and seeing them as beautiful people. But how do I put it without the constant asking of what happened to you is what makes people with vitiligo feel weird moving around people. The constant, sometimes you don't need to be asked. Sometimes see me as me. Sometimes don't point out things.
Yeah. The same way I won't point out that, why is your nose so sharp?
Because I contoured it.
Right? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I think the acceptance, like you say, that some people think people with vitiligo are very pretty, beautiful, actually reminds me, my 5-year-old calls vitiligo pretty ligo.
Pretty ligo. Oh wow.
I know.
That is beautiful.
So I was like, why do you call it pretty ligo? And he says, because it makes you pretty. But you see, it's a perspective. Yeah, it's a perspective. For him, he's come to realize my mom has this thing that's different, and it makes her pretty. So I should actually give it a different name. And so I think that it goes for everything.
Yeah.
How you carry yourself. Imagine in school, I don't know if it was the same with you, but when we were younger, kids that were tall didn't like the fact that they were tall.
They didn't like it, and they
they used to
go
bend.
like this.
So like, some of
bend
them,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Until you get old and you have to wear heels and.
Yeah, but then then your back is bent. I know like so many kids, like friends, and even one of my cousins, is very tall, and now she has that cabin.
I had one friend that used to pray to God to stop making her grow because she didn't want to get rid. And
tall.
I think God answered her prayer because she reached someone just stopped there.
It.
Yeah.
And yet now kids in this generation, like
everyone wants to be tall.
Like when you tell them you're tall, they say thank you, right?
It's a compliment.
So, yeah, I'm hoping that generations from now, in fact, the next generation, would embrace vitiligo and just make people feel like it's okay. I learned during this season also that there are filters for vitiligo.
Really?
Yeah.
You put a filter and then you get it?
Yeah. Like you go on Snapchat, you type vitiligo and it puts vitiligo on your face.
I'm going to check it out.
I was like,
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, but we are going to determine how the next generation will embrace vitiligo.
That is very true.
Yeah, and I think it's important because really it's something you don't choose.
Yeah.
You don't wake up and say, let me go
I want
this. Or I did something, then now the result is vitiligo. I have to pay the consequences for what I did. No. You don't do anything about it.
That is very true.
Yeah. Another thing I think for me that has changed is, you see how you said, I like your hands. There was a time in my life where if someone told me that, I wouldn't like it.
You wouldn't like it because you're like, why do you like my hands?
Yeah, no, I would feel like I don't like having vitiligo. Why do you like my hands? And now I feel differently. Like
now you like them.
I don't mind my hands. I think that, in fact, someone told me,
but they're very beautiful. Like,
thank you.
I wouldn't want you to treat them like.
Yeah, a friend of mine was saying, she's a skin specialist, and she's saying, you mean you treat your vitiligo? I don't think you should. Like, it's what makes you who you are. I'm like, really? Yeah, but yeah, like with the hands, I think that at some point, if someone gave me that as a compliment, because of having had a lot of negative stuff, I would feel like they're just saying it to make me happy.
You just want to make me
feel good.
Yeah.
But they don't really mean it. Yeah. But I think once you've done that journey on the inside for yourself, it kind of makes it okay. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you a very interesting question.
Please do.
How come you have opened up now?
How come? Because I just felt like really, this is not something that I was discussing with people because mine is hidden.
Yeah.
And a lot of people around me don't even know that I have it.
Yeah.
It's not like I was hiding it.
Yes.
So I'm not opening up. It's just that I saw, before, I know there are people that have vitiligo that don't like it, don't embrace it at all. To see so many people come out and talk about it after seeing that interview with Satis Fashion UG. Yeah, that's really good. What inspired me. Like, it's okay, let me just go.
That's good. And I think it's a good thing. How did you feel about the campaign?
The campaign is very, very beautiful. I actually called Hassan and I told him, you've done so many big things, but I feel like this, for you to even come out and talk about this is something that people ignore. People ignore it. But at the same time, it is something, it's people that we live with every single day. In Uganda, at least, you can see someone, in a month, you're going to see one person with vitiligo. So I was home, I was going through my things, when you literally finish doing everything, put the baby to bed, you're going through your emails. Before you go through your emails, I was on TikTok. That is where I saw the first campaign. I watched it. Then I saw another one. Then I saw another one. I called Hassan. I'm like, Hassan, how come I'm not a part of this? Why? Why would you be a part of it?
It has nothing to do with you. How is it an issue for you?
Yeah, how is it an issue for you? I just feel like, and a lot of people have seen it.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends talk about it. Everyone is just shocked by how people are affected by the little comments that they make. Like a compliment can be an offense to you.
Oh yes,
and
that's
people
true.
do not know that they're complimenting you, telling you you're beautiful, and then
a friend of mine who deals with vitiligo people told me he once told someone with vitiligo that they're beautiful and they took offense. Yeah. But I feel like this season has just been so beautiful because it's given people out there that want people to hear them an opportunity to be heard, right? Yeah, to be heard. And when Hassan reached out to me and said, Fatuma wants to talk about this with you, I was like, Fatuma? Why does she have vitiligo? So I was like, okay, maybe she covers it with makeup, maybe, because so many people, actually, in this conversation, so many people have reached out to me and said they have vitiligo. And I'm like,
and you've never seen it.
They're like, I wear makeup. I'm like, what? Yeah. So it's funny that you don't really do anything about it, but you feel the need to hide it. Yeah. So now that you have shared it, another thing I want to ask you, how do you relate from your experience with the fashion world? You make people clothes, you do wedding gowns. How would you relate vitiligo to other insecurities that women have?
How do I relate?
Yeah, like bodily insecurities. Like, I do weddings.
I feel like every woman has insecurities. I don't know. It's so hard to find a woman that is 150%
even though you think
confident.
She's perfect, right?
Even though you feel she's perfect. There is no single woman I have met. I think I've met two. Two. One of them being Prima Simwe. Who is the second one? Who is 100% confident in their skin and they're like, I am perfect. From head to toe. You can't tell me shit. This is me. I just feel like what was I saying? Sorry.
Like every woman has insecurities.
Every woman has insecurities. Someone's going to say my hands are big. Even one with a flatter stomach is going to say I have a big belly.
And then they tap it and you're like, where is it?
The ones that have big bums like me, we complain about our bums. Every woman has insecurities. Yeah, that is it.
Yeah, and so when you compare, like, with vitiligo and all, what do you think will help women to be more accepting of themselves?
Women with vitiligo, or women with
just women generally?
Of course, telling them they're beautiful, but like I told you, sometimes giving someone a compliment
offends.
Yesterday I had a fitting with a client that has a really, really small waist, and when I made her dress, it made her waist smaller.
Even smaller.
It made her waist smaller, and she didn't like it.
Wow! And other people are begging to
have small waists. So most of the times, giving someone a compliment can be an offense. I really don't know how we're going to do that.
Yeah.
To change it.
Yeah.
But just words of encouragement, like you have to encourage people every time. Every time you see someone, when someone tells me I have big hands, I cannot wear such a dress, I tell them, let's try it.
And then
let's try it. If you don't like it, I'm going to change it.
Yeah.
Or someone tells me I have a big belly, I cannot wear fitting dresses, I tell her, let's try wearing a fitting dress. We see. If you don't like it, I'm going to change it completely. That is how I try to encourage them. They tell me something that, unless I see like this is something that is really going to look horrible. But if I see it's something that we can work around, like people, like colors. Someone can tell you, I don't like to wear bright colors, because when I wear bright colors, people are going to look at me. That is someone that is insecure already. You start with that color that is, that is bright but not too bright, like mustard yellow, and you start introducing them to color. They're like, you know what, make for me red next time. I want people to see me, because she wore that color that kind looked nice on her, and she got compliments. She's like, okay.
And so I feel like we actually have a role in helping women be more accepting of themselves. It's one of the things I love about what I do, because I actually feel like I heal women. Me too. Right? Yeah. Prepare, especially brides, like prepare them. They have to. Yeah, I feel like I heal them. They come and they feel all these things about themselves, and I'm like, let me be done with you. You tell me how you feel. Are you a problem solver like me? Like when a client comes to you, that whole process of meeting them, talking to them, you learn things about them. Yes. And maybe the whole process, let's leave alone general life. Yes. Like the whole process of planning a wedding. Yes. Do you keep asking them, who's going to do this for you? Where are you getting this? Oh, yeah. They're like, you can get this from there. Oh, yeah. By the time a bride leaves my office, they have everything they need. Everything is sorted. Yeah. I hear about every service provider they are dealing with. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, what don't you have? And then I suggest, sometimes I give them advice, I share my experiences from planning my wedding and all of that. But I think like the inner things in there, I'm able to pick up, and as I work on a lady, I just feel like I try to slow down and come to their level and just speak to them. And it can be quite healing. And they love it, and they never forget it. Yes. Speak to their hearts. Like, people have had a lot of negative things growing up. Yeah. Someone says, I look like a doll. I'm like, how can you say that to yourself? A doll? A doll. I think that is a compliment. Yeah, but for them, they're saying it like, I look like a doll when I wear makeup. I'm like, first of all, people want to look like dolls, because dolls are made to look perfect. Pretty. Or someone says, I don't like my tiny eyes. And I'm like, that's the thing that makes you most beautiful. Like, your eyes are so cute. So they're like, I don't want any eyeshadow because my eyes look bad. I'm like, what? And sometimes it's people with the most gorgeous eyes that paint their eyes. They're like, oh, my eyes have been done so badly before. Just don't do anything. So usually, and when I pick that up in a conversation way before the wedding, I insist that we have a trial. So that I give them an experience where they will relax and walk into their wedding day on that morning feeling more confident. There's some people who don't care. They're like, Serena, you know what to do on that day. Do what you want. Do your thing that morning. But yeah, it can be healing. And I really love when I see them look at themselves after the makeup is done and they love what they look like. Because, then they realize, I'm beautiful, actually. I'm beautiful. Yeah. I can wear makeup and look beautiful. Exactly. And so I feel like we have a very important role. And on the contrary, we can also hurt people if we are careless with our words when we are dealing with them. It's like someone coming to you and you ask. Recently I got a bride that told me she dropped her designer because she asked her if she's going to get on a weight loss journey before the wedding. Like, who says that? Yeah. Who says that? So were they trying to tell them to lose weight? Yeah, I think that is what she was telling her. Or maybe she was asking so that she knows whether to do the final fitting. She was telling her to lose weight. It's the bride to tell you that I'm going to lose weight. You can't ask them if they're going to lose weight. Yeah. What if they're comfortable? What if they want to be what if they've tried to lose weight for so long and they know they won't lose weight easily and so they don't want to. So we can easily hurt people. We can easily hurt people. I know that brides have come and said, I don't like my hair, and I don't like people making comments about my hair because I went to this guy to do my hair and he told me I have very thin hair, I have poor quality hair. I'm like, but how do you tell someone such a thing? Someone that has come to, Yeah, yeah. I had a bride who had alopecia, and by the wedding day, she actually had no hair. Yeah, so I think the thing is acceptance, self-acceptance makes all the difference. I was telling you how, now when you tell me I love your hands, I actually take it. There was a time where I didn't like it. I was like, I think it's the same thing. If you told me I'm dark skinned, for me that's a compliment. But another person who is probably still dealing with all the negative stuff they had about
and there are battles,
being dark skinned.
Inner battles.
And so the lesson that we want the women who are watching us to take out of this conversation is do the inner work for yourself.
You have to do the inner work for yourself. No one can do that for you.
Yeah, that work of acceptance, of dealing with who am I now. A big part of who I am is vitiligo. And I can't deny that. And I have to do that work and accept Serena. I know that it's okay.
Yeah.
I am special, I am unique, I'm different, but that's who I am. Yeah.
But also influential people like you said, someone said you are there, you are our Wayne Haller.
Yeah.
I just feel like influential people, like we've had dark skin models that have been able to make people see darkness as something that is beautiful. The more darker you are, the more beautiful that you are. Influential people like you are also, I can't come out because you will not see it. It's hidden.
Yeah.
But influential people like you that have it can come out more and educate people and just tell people that have it, it is okay to have it.
It's okay.
You are beautiful the way you are.
Yeah, so that's really where it is, where the work is. It is on the inside. So back to the point of, stigma. So as someone that has vitiligo that is in places that are not seen, did you face any stigma?
Of course. From relatives, I could say it. My mother's cousins, the ones I told you, the Tanzanian.
Your mom is from Tanzania?
She's from there, but grew up here.
Okay.
She legit told her I needed medication and she wanted to take me somewhere to be treated traditionally.
Wow.
And in Tanzania, if you have vitiligo, it's you're seen as an outcast.
Are you serious?
It's bigger than here.
Wow.
And a lot of them have it. I don't know why. A lot of Tanzanians have vitiligo.
Yeah.
But my mom, of course, refused to do anything about it. She's like, it will.
Thank God.
Yeah, she refused to do anything about it, but she kept suggesting, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this for her, let's do this for her. But my mom kept telling me to keep myself covered so that people don't see it.
But that's a very important point.
Yeah.
Vitiligo is viewed differently in different cultures, in different communities. I talked to a friend of mine in Kenya when we were going to start this, who has vitiligo. He has a lot of vitiligo, like on his face, and he's a man. And I told him, we're doing this campaign in Uganda to celebrate World Vitiligo Day. He's like, that's really nice for you. He's like, for me, it has actually never bothered me. And I was like, for real? He's like, yeah, because people here don't
mind it.
They don't have all these myths and beliefs. And I was in shock.
Here,
oh my gosh, you hear that thing until you're like, I don't want to hear it anymore. So in Tanzania, what do they believe? Because you said you're an outcast. What do they believe? What are some myths?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's not deep in Tanzania. It's this near Uganda. You know,
okay, yeah.
They believe the same thing.
Interesting. And they treat you like an outcast.
Yeah, they treat you like an outcast. At least here, I just feel like here there is a way they feel sorry for you in Uganda.
And they want to help
But in
you.
Tanzania, they make you feel like you did something. What did you do?
Yeah, what did you do?
Yeah, like you're being punished for something that you did.
And like that's your family.
Yeah,
everyone.
You're getting how do I put it?
You're getting what you deserve for whatever you did.
For whatever you did.
That's very sad. Can you imagine a girl in a family and that's what their family treats them like? Like, I feel like my family would miss out so much if that's how they treated me.
Of course.
Yeah, they would miss out on who I am and what I have to offer as a unique person. Yeah. So you are protected by your mother by saying, cover up, let people not know, so that they give you peace.
I don't even think she still remembers. She has not seen it in a really long time. I'll have to ask her. No, my mom.
Oh, your mom.
I'll have to ask her if she remembers that I have it.
How can she forget? She's your mom. Yeah. And she doesn't ask you how it's progressing and all?
No.
Interesting.
But so, to a certain extent, I just feel like it helped me. It helped me slow down on dating. Like, I don't have so many ex-boyfriends. I don't. I have very, very few.
Yeah.
Very, very, it helped me slow down. I don't know how many I would have had if I didn't have it. To tell you the truth, but that whole thing of starting over and explaining yourself to people why you have it, what happened to you, and of course some of them will ask you. Mulina abalongo mu family yammwe.
But tell me, is there a family that doesn't have twins?
I don't know if there is a family that doesn't have twins.
I don't think there is.
But what did I do to them?
Nothing, of course. I mean, even if you ask the one set of twins you have, they will be like, "What's wrong with you?
Like, what are you talking about?"
Yeah, no, I have thought about it. I've asked so many people. Everybody's family has twins. At least a distant relative. Even if
I think we have like 20 pairs in my family.
Yeah, some families have more. But people who say that thing to you, they say that the twins don't even have to come from your family, that they should just be twins in your life.
Like you piss them off.
I'm like, is there anyone who has not come across twins in their life? Yeah.
But all I know, the little research that I did, I didn't do a lot of research.
Yeah.
I think a lot of vitiligo gets triggered by medication, the wrong medications that we take. It cannot even be, it can be a food.
Yeah.
That thing you said of being triggered by stress, I have just learned it today. I didn't know. But I knew about the medication bit of it.
Yeah. I know someone who got vitiligo when they lost their job.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Stress.
They lost their job, and in that season of losing their job, vitiligo started, and it spread so fast because they were so stressed. And now they were stressed about not having a job, and they were stressed about
getting
having vitiligo. So it's different things, and which is the reason why we just need to.
Some things we cannot control.
Yeah.
These are things you cannot control because a lot of people are allergic to things they don't know they're allergic to until you take it.
Yeah.
And it reacts.
Yeah, and there are kids who get vitiligo at 2 years. Like, what does that child know? Probably something in their body just didn't accept. Yeah. So what have you learned today? You kept saying,
I have learned. I was quiet because most of the things you're saying, I'm just learning them. And I feel like for someone that has it, I need to do better research.
But you have it in a way that it doesn't bother you too much. Trust me, if it was growing faster, you would be on Google like crazy.
Maybe I would embrace it.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the best way to go about it. Yeah. Okay, so you've learned a lot about, what else have you learned?
I have learned that it gets triggered by stress, first of all, and I'm someone that stresses myself a lot. Like I be on tension a lot. Like I can't be late. I can't. How about losing a job? That is something that is really, really big. I have not had something that stresses me to that extent. So now I know that can happen.
Yeah.
I have learned it can still be treated. I didn't know. I thought that is something that cannot be treated at all. It can be treated to some people.
It can be treated,
it can
but
react
to cure
me.
It
yeah.
It's almost impossible for now. They don't have any known cure. But do you know that I've met people who, we still have more to learn. I've met people who get vitiligo and it goes back completely.
Really?
Yeah, without them even doing any treatment.
Really? See, I have learned.
I learned, like my friend told me when we were doing this campaign that their son had vitiligo. He is now about 12.
And it went.
She said when he was younger, He got it like from his nose, and then it disappeared. I was like, what? And I know their son, he has no sign of vitiligo.
Wow.
Then another friend of mine told me that their teenage daughter got it at about maybe 10 years, and it went. And for them, all they did was they
That
didn't
is
any
something
treatment.
new.
They said they just prayed for their child, that's it, and then it went.
With a power prayer.
Yeah, when I was younger, I met a lady. She's a mother of my friend at school, and she told me that my friend had vitiligo at some point as a kid, and all she did was just pray for her, and she felt like, I'm just not praying about it enough. And I feel like I don't know if there's anything I prayed about more.
Would
when
you
I was
do it
younger.
any other way? Would you want to take it back?
You know what, Fatuma? Vitiligo has been one of the biggest blessings of my life.
I can imagine.
And when I say that, what I mean is that vitiligo has shaped who I am.
Yeah.
In terms of my heart, yeah? Because for me, my vitiligo was a real painful experience in my life. I was a kid, and then you go through the stages of teenage years. Imagine dealing with that as a teenager,
Getting bullied.
Schools, kids' comments. I think my biggest problem wasn't even kids at school. It was mostly strangers in town. Yeah, I think children, once they get over that first shock, they're okay. Strangers in town were so mean. And I was young, so I couldn't sort through what I hear. Like now, if somebody says to me anything in town, I really don't care because their opinion of me does not count.
Yeah.
But as a teenager, it was so tough. But all of that shaped who I am. It shaped my heart.
I'm glad to hear
I
that.
feel like even in doing the work I do, it positioned me for this work. To be able to take care of people who have a lot of struggles on the inside. Taught me compassion, and I learned to do makeup. It gave me a new definition for beauty. For me to actually realize that what happens to you externally may not be completely in your control, but who you're growing to be on the inside. that's your part. That's something that's where your primary focus needs to be. How people experience you, and that's what beauty really is. Because sometimes the world sells to us a very shallow definition of beauty. It's eyebrows, it's a nose, it's a certain kind of nose, a certain kind of cheekbones, and all of that. But that it's a very limited view of beauty. Beauty is a whole experience of a person, how people experience you, how people, when people come around you, what do they encounter? So yeah, and I'm grateful, and if it goes, that's okay, I don't mind. But if it doesn't go, it's also okay. Don't take anything away from me. I am who I am.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. So anything else you've learned today?
I wish I wrote them down. I wish I wrote them down, but thank you so much for this experience.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm always hungry for knowledge. I love learning things about people, about conditions. I just feel like this is going to just make me dive in more, do more research about it.
Yeah, and that's good, because that is going to help so many other people who have vitiligo. Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a nice chat. You want to say more?
No.
Tell me.
I was going to tell you, since I dress women up, you'll be surprised by the number of women that have hidden vitiligo.
Yeah.
There are so many.
Really?
Very many. I have one that I dress, she has it on her hand, that she doesn't wear clothes that don't have sleeves. Even in school, she had to wear a long-sleeved shirt, and her friends, the school uniform was short-sleeved.
Wow, so they
She told me she could shower when everyone has finished to shower. No one at school even knew that she had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah. I mean, I also know people who said it was on the inside, then now it came out.
Yeah.
And previously they didn't have to deal with it.
Mm.
Now that it's like all over the face and all, they've had to actually come to terms with it. Yeah. And such is life. I think we just, the important thing is to make lemonade out of whatever lemons life throws at us.
That is true.
Yeah.
You too,
One
well
last
done.
final question. Fun fact. Do you make all your clothes?
The ones I wear?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually cheaper for me to buy than to make.
Yeah.
If I'm going to an event and I don't, fabric is very expensive, and I don't have, I would say, money or a budget to spend on it. Like I have a small budget to spend on it. I just buy. It's cheaper that way. But I love wearing my clothes.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to find something like I'm wearing.
Yeah.
You will not find it. You're going to find fitted dresses.
Created it in your
I
mind.
don't like fitted dresses a lot. I think the only time you've seen me in a fitted dress is on my wedding.
Yeah.
I love baggy clothes.
Yeah.
Most clothes that are sold here fitted.
Yeah.
So if I want something that is unique, I'm going to make. But I don't make all my clothes. I buy a lot. Sometimes here, sometimes when I travel.
Nice. So, did you make your wedding gown? Of course.
Yeah. The first one and the second one, but the third one, my friend Anita made it for me.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. That was nice. You know, I
actually sold the two, but the one she made for me, I still have it.
You said, let me keep this one. Yeah. It's special. Okay, thank you. It's been nice.
It's
been nice getting to know this side of you. Not just the...
What size do you know?
I know the side of neat work.
The one you see on the internet.
No, the one I see with my brides.
Yeah, here. Yeah.
You know, when you see wedding gowns online, they look nice and what?
Until you see in person.
Wedding gowns, when you see them here, you're like, but the finishing is not
it the same person that does the other things?
Like, this is a Fatumah Asha dress. But that's not the case with your dresses. That's the truth, by the way.
Thank you.
I love you're really neat.
Thank you so much.
Like when you do pleats, they are perfect.
They are pleats, they are pleating.
The pleats are pleating, right? Yeah. Hopefully this has taught you something. Thank you very much. Till next time.
Otuteekamu filter.
Twetaga filter. You're perfect.
Thank you.